September. It is going to be an insane month for sneaker releases. Today we are going to be discussing what shoes to resell in the month of September. Now I get it. Some of you guys might not be into reselling, and some of you guys might even hate resellers. You know what? That's completely fair. Don't stress it. You could consider this guide more of a, what are going to be the most hyped shoes of September? What are going to be the most limited shoes or the most popular shoes, the nicest shoes of September? Or if you're not really into hype or limited sneakers, don't worry. I'll also talk about some GRs that are releasing, and I'll recommend to you whether you should wait for the sale or buy them right away. Now, considering this month is so insane, I might purposely leave out a lot of shoes. In addition to that, we also might get some other updates for other shoes later in the month. For that, I would suggest turning on post notifications and subscribing if you haven't already, just to stay updated on all of these shoes, how to cop them for retail without a bot. Specifically in today's video, for each individual sneaker, I will be mentioning the name of the sneaker, of course, images, the release date for the shoe, the retail, and of course, whether I think the shoe is going to be profitable, or if I think it's not going to be profitable, but it will sell out, or in fact, if I think that it's simply just not even going to sell out, and perhaps you should wait for that sale price. Anyway, let's kick it off with September 1st, because September 1st, we got 4 Jordan 1s releasing, and to start off with the first one, we got some heat. For $180, you can get yourself the Nigel Sylvester Jordan 1. If you guys are unfamiliar with Nigel Sylvester, he's essentially a famous BMXer who makes YouTube videos of him BMXing around an entire city. His videos are actually really interesting. But anyway, the sneakers he created actually have kind of a worn-in look to them. And some of you guys definitely hate the shoe. You say, why would I buy an already used sneaker? And some of you guys simply understand it as more of a collectible and understand that this is part of the design. Essentially, the reason it's torn up like this, or the reason there's certain marks on it, is because this is the way the shoe is supposed to look after a ride of BMXing or so. I think it's a pretty cool concept. But anyway, considering it is a collaboration and it is a very limited shoe, at least based off the foot action locations, or should I say location. In addition to that, pre-sale is already crazy on these, so I will have to say that with the retail being only $180, they will resell. You will be able to make some profit off of these. Not only that, if you happen to like the shoe for a personal pair, it's definitely unique. Don't sleep on this shoe, guys. Moving on to the 3 other Jordan 1s that are releasing on September 1st. These are all releasing for $160. First of all, we have the Guava Ice 1 that is releasing in only North America, Asia Pacific, and Latin America. You will see that these are all kind of regional. Then we have the Coral 1 releasing in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Finally, the Olive Canvas 1 will only be releasing in mainly China. Anyway, for the Guava Ice 1, for instance, for this shoe, it's already going for under retail, so I really do think if you want these shoes, you could sleep on them, find them for under retail somewhere, or maybe even wait for a sale price. I wanted to mention these, though, because this is a nice back-to-school shoe, only $160, and you could probably get it cheaper as well. One thing I definitely wanted to keep you guys updated on, anytime after August 28th, this could be September 1st, September 2nd, September 3rd, any day like that. The Serena Williams and Off-White and Nike 97s, the Blazers, the Flare 2s may potentially drop. To stay updated on all this info, I would urge you to turn on tweet notifications for Soul Links if you haven't already. The reason I'm keeping you guys updated for this is because last night, actually, on the 27th, there was a small drop for these 97s. Now, essentially, just looked, it appeared as just a simple, informative page for the sneaker, but then you scroll down a little bit, but then you can actually scratch at the Off-White tag. After you scratch it, a video plays. After the video, you do have an opportunity to purchase them, but for most people, they were too late, and even for the people who were right on time, who did it as soon as possible, there were too many errors, and they couldn't even cop. So this leads me to say, this was an extremely limited release. If you guys recall, a similar thing happened with the Black Cement 3s. But a lot of shoes release in this sort of way at first, but then later, there is a wider release. So I am expecting that there's at least a possibility for another wider release for these 97s. Also, of course, for the Blazers and potentially even the Flare 2s. 97s retail will be $190. The Blazers will be $130. And the Flare 2s, I don't really have much info on. But anyway, for the Blazers and the 97s, I can guarantee you guys that these shoes will be profitable if you get your hands on them. Not only that, if you want these for personal, please guys do not sleep on these. Now, moving on to September 7th. Jordan is actually doing a collaboration with Vogue magazine. So we got two colorways in the Jordan 3. First of all, we got a black pair, then we also have a sort of red and black pair. These pairs come with a tweed upper, which I'm to assume is pretty similar to Flyknit, so I'm guessing these shoes would be rather light. In addition to that, these shoes do come with two suede dust bags and one keychain. They will be releasing again on September 7th for only $180 for a collaboration. That's definitely not bad. So shout out to Anna Wintour for the retail price of only $180. Based off of how previous releases with Vogue and Nike have gone, I would suggest not sleeping on the shoe, but if there is going to be profit for this shoe when reselling it, it's probably going to be very little, so I wouldn't suggest going out of your way for it. But again, it's not a bad personal pair, so don't sleep on it if you're interested. Moving to September 8th for $200, we have the Jordan 12 International Flight. Now, based off of how the International Flight 3s did, despite them being at least somewhat limited, there wasn't really a lot of demand for them. Also, how pre-sale is looking on these, I would not suggest getting these for resale purposes, but considering this is a Foot Action exclusive, I would suggest not sleeping on this specific shoe if you want it for personal, and it's definitely a unique shoe. It's got some really cool details on it. Now, also September 8th, we have a really big release right here, guys. For $200 each, there are 3 acronym Prestos that are going to be releasing. Hey guys, just wanted to give you guys a quick update while I was actually editing the video. Pirates tweeted out that the release date has changed for these. It has been moved from the 8th to the 7th. They were replaced by the Air Max Deluxe. Now, back in 2016, when the first 3 colorways of the acronym Prestos released, they weren't necessarily that hyped. They had a little bit of resale value, but not too many people were going crazy over them. A lot of people just were on the fence about them. But now, you come to 2018, and there is tons of hype around the original pairs. I believe they're going for somewhere like $700 to $800. It's absolutely insane. And if you look at the 3 new pairs that are coming up, you can see that there's actually a lot of demand building up already. So definitely don't sleep on these shoes if you want them as a personal pair. But again, if you want to resell these shoes, I really do think that these are going to be profitable. So with a retail of $200 with fees and shipping or whatever you're going to have to pay, I still think that you're going to be able to make some decent profit off of these. My opinion on these shoes, I'm not crazy about the silhouette for the Presto Mid. However, I do really like these colorways. I also think it's pretty unique that they have sort of a utility feel to them with that zipper. So if I could get a personal pair, I'll go for them. It's definitely some shoe that's out there. You guys know me, I like the neck breakers, but it's definitely not my favorite shoe this month. We got a lot more heat to talk about, don't worry. Moving to September 15th, speaking of heat, we got the Grim Reaper Off-White and Nike Blazers releasing. Guys, when it comes to all these Off-White and Nike collaborations, please do not sleep on the shoe if you want it for personal wear, and if you happen to want to resell the shoe, you could definitely expect some decent profit, but don't expect the same profit as the original pairs. All V2s don't go for as much. But anyway, it's definitely a clean shoe. I'm looking forward to this shoe, and hopefully I get a personal pair. Hopefully you guys get some pairs as well. Also on September 15th, this is actually a pretty big day. We have the class of 2002, or I guess you could call them the Mellow Jordan 13s. This shoe I'm definitely excited for. It will be retailing for $190. And there's still a lot of hype for the 2015 pair, but I do understand that there's supposed to be decent stock on these, so I would definitely not suggest sleeping on this shoe, but I'm not sure as of now if they're going to resell for a notable amount. I think that they're going to sell for over retail, but it's just, is it going to be a notable amount after seller fees or, say, shipping? I'm not sure as of now. For right now, let's just say only buy them for a personal pair and don't sleep. Now, for the last September 15th release, we have the Yeezy 700 Wave Runners releasing. This is, of course, the 3rd release for them. They already re-released twice. Now, I actually made a full video on these where I talked about the whole history behind them from the beginning to now when it comes to the Yeezy 700 Wave Runners. Then, of course, I also mentioned how to cop them in depth in this video. In that video, I also mentioned the new Adidas SMS verification system and what we should do about it and what's actually happening about it. Also, of course, at the end of that video, like always in my How to Cop guides, I did mention some resale predictions. I went really in depth into it, but if I could only take away that part of the video and put it here, I'm gonna say sell your current pairs now. It's not anything crazy. Don't expect a crazy drop, but definitely sell them now just because they're not really gonna rise anytime soon. Also, I do think that they're still going to be profitable after this release because it's definitely not going to be as big of a release as, say, those creams that are coming out. But if you want the full explanation, videos and my reasoning to these predictions, definitely feel free to check out that Yeezy 700 video. Now, moving on to September 19th, for $225, we have the Jordan 5 PSG releasing. Now, this shoe is very reminiscent of the black metallic 5s. Of course, it's got those PSG branding marks all over it. Now, I'm not sure as of now if this is going to be a Europe exclusive. So far, they are on the Foot Locker calendar for Europe, but they're not on the Foot Locker calendar for US. So far, it's not looking too hot for those of us in the US. And there were rumors going around that there's supposed to be around 40,000 pairs total of these. Not only that, but there's also a ton of demand that is already built up for these sneakers. So I would suggest, yes, get these for resale purposes if you want to make small profit. Not only that, it's a clean shoe. Don't sleep on it if you want it as a personal pair. September 21st. For $220, the Cream Yeezys are re-released. This is going to be a massive re-release. There's going to be so much stock. These things are going to be everywhere, guys. My biggest tip when it comes to these guys, don't buy off Yeezy Supply, and it's not so much for the $20 shipping extra that you're going to have to pay. It's mostly because when it comes to any normal sized Yeezy release on Yeezy Supply, normally they can't even ship most pairs on time. Occasionally, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to just get your pair shipped out from Yeezy Supply, even though you paid that extra $20 for shipping there. Not only this, but Yeezy Supply actually lost my blue tints. Of course, this isn't likely going to happen to most of you. It's just much better to stick to adidas.com. Trust me, guys, it's going to be an easy cop. Don't stress out for this release. And also, guys, do not try to resell this shoe. There's going to be so much stock. If you buy this shoe, I guarantee you they're going to brick. Who knows? Maybe they'll sell for just a little bit over retail once they finally sell out. I don't know how long that'll take. But in the end, guys, it's not going to be worth it to go for these for resale purposes. Of course, though, it's a nice back-to-school shoe. All white, super clean shoe overall. You might actually be able to sleep on these, but if you do sleep on these, you probably won't be saving much in the end. I don't see these going on sale. I see these potentially going for under retail on StockX or GOAT. So in the end, you might not be saving a ton. So I wouldn't sleep on these just to be safe, but definitely don't try to resell these. Now, also for September 21st, for $130, we have the All Hallows Eve Blazers. Of course, these are the other Blazers releasing this month from the Grim Reapers. These All Hallows Eve are essentially just all an off-white or beige color with that orange swoosh and the orange Nike branding. Definitely a clean sneaker. Don't sleep on this shoe because it will sell out. When it comes to these off-white and Nike collaborations, guys, like I mentioned previously, they're definitely going to be profitable, so you can expect these to be a resellable shoe. Also on September 21st, we have a women's exclusive shoe. For $180, you could get the Jordan 3 Bordeaux. For this shoe, I'm going to recommend that you wait for a sale price or perhaps lower prices on GOAT or StockX or any site like that. Just because of what happened with the Bordeaux 12s that released a while back. Those essentially were sitting for a very long time in stores at Foot Locker, Foot Action, Champs. You could have essentially got them anywhere. So I would suggest waiting for the sale when it comes to these Jordan 3 Bordeaux. Moving to September 22nd, we got two releases that I am very excited for. We have two Jordan 1s, and these are going to be the Pine Green colorway. Then we have the Court Purple. Of course, this is a very similar colorway to the Bread ones. I'm also expecting stock to be very similar to the Bread ones. Not only that, but also similar to, like, say, the Shadow ones, the Game Royal ones. Of course, there isn't going to be as much demand on these compared to the Bread ones, but that doesn't mean that these aren't going to be profitable. With a retail of only $160, leaves a ton of wiggle room for profit. I'm expecting these to sell out. So don't sleep on the shoe if you want it as a personal pair. And I'm expecting resale to be, not a ton, but at least with that retail of $160, you might be able to make a little profit off of these. But again, it's a release that's later in the month. I'll have to keep you guys updated on this. So again, subscribe and turn on notifications if you're new to stay 100% updated. Moving on to a shoe that doesn't really have a confirmed release date. And I really don't care if it has a confirmed release date because trust me, you can wait on these. We have the Jordan 7 Lows. We have three colorways. We have the Bordeaux, Taxi, and Concord colorways. Now, I appreciate Jordan trying to attempt at some innovation. I think that's really nice of them to give it a shot. But I'm kind of pissed that they decided to do it with the Bordeaux and the Taxi and the Concord because I really would have wanted to see at least the Bordeaux in a high coming out this year. I'm kind of upset that we're not going to be getting it because of these Jordan 7 lows, but you know, some of you guys might like them and that's fair. Anyway, retail's $140. You don't need to pay that price. I see these things potentially even going to the outlets, but at least you should expect these to go on sale. I'm actually interested to know your opinions on this down below, so let me know what you guys think. I personally would have rather have seen the highs, and I'm kind of disappointed that I'm not going to be able to get myself a new pair of Bordeaux 7 highs. Also, another shoe that is not confirmed, sometime late in September we should be getting the Dragon Ball Z and Adidas D-Rup. For this shoe, I'm going to recommend not sleeping on it. For all these Adidas and Dragon Ball Z shoes, I really just have lackluster info on them, so I'm not sure on resale as of now. I really don't think there's a lot of demand on these. I wouldn't really go too out of your way to try and find these things, but if you like them, I guess don't sleep on them. Alright guys, I got another update for you guys while I was actually editing the video again. So basically, we got 3 shoes that just popped up that were tweeted out by Pirates. Essentially, the Air Force One, Supreme, and CDG collab. I am expecting that shoe to resell as well, but all these shoes I don't have dates for. The retail is on the screen though. Then the Y340, I would not expect them to be profitable just because of that insane retail price of $600. But then the Undercover and React Element 87 pair, I do think that is going to be profitable. But anyway, I don't have much info on these shoes as of now. I'll keep you guys updated, so on to the rest of the video, I guess. But anyway, that will conclude today's video. I want to give a big shout out to all my sources, which include the J23 app, Pirates, Sneaker Bar Detroit, Sneaker News, Yeezy Mafia, and Soul Collector. All those, shout out to them. And of course, if you happen to be new, subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated and how to cop all these sneakers that I mentioned in today's video. If you enjoyed or if you perhaps learned a thing or two, feel free to leave a like. But with that, I'll see you guys later. Have a fantastic rest of your day.